Yeah, and first of all, just congratulate Nebraska. I thought their kids played hard out there tonight. And in this environment, I mean, it certainly is Cincinnati's home game, but it didn't feel like it for sure. That was one of the louder stadiums that I've been a part to play a game in. It certainly affected us offensively. I think we had 4 false start penalties, having to go silent cadence. One early in the first half, we complete a pass to Cyrus and get a first down. That comes back and we end up having to punt. So it definitely affected the game. Their crowd was good here tonight. Really proud of our guys. Our guys fought. They played hard. I mean, just looking at it right from the sideline, I mean, like the guys are flying around. They're playing physical. And I was proud of them for that. We're extremely proud of our defense. We had to defend 40 minutes worth of time of possession. Everybody talked about Raul. He's a really good player. I mean, he got 40 minutes worth of time of possession to go out and make plays, and we held him to 20 points. And 7 of those points was a turnover that we had on a short field. So I'm extremely proud of our defense. Thought they played an outstanding game. Just disappointed offensively, particularly in the first half. I think we only had 24 plays in the first half, but just we didn't have any rhythm. Part of that, again, was the false starts. And not being able to get some plays down the field and get some kind of rhythm. I thought the second half was much better. I thought Sorsby run game was very strong. Played us hard out there today. But it came down to turnovers. We had 2. They did not have any. That's the difference in the game. It came down to a 3-point game, and the 2 turnovers proved to be the difference. We're going down to score at the end to win the game, and then the earlier turnover cost us 7 points. That's the difference in the game. But I'm proud of our guys. I think this team is a special team that we have. They'll continue to get better because of what they have, the heart they have of this team. These guys will fight. And so we'll go back this week and get ready for our next game. But with that, I'll open up for questions.
On that last play, is that you just went to the boundary, basically? Was it more of an air throw, or was that a play that you wanted?
No, it was just a double move on both sides. He's looking. He can look boundary field on that. Look to the field. The corner was hard, so Goody gets by him. Just got to get the ball more out there, a little bit wider out to the sideline and deeper. Where we go can make the play, or nobody does. I mean, the safety made a great play coming off the hash, going up and high pointing that ball. The ball's just got to be a little bit wider and deeper to where we catch it or nobody catches it.
This is the run game, but is it something that Nebraska was doing that kind of slow down the passing game?
Yeah, I mean, they were mixing up a lot of coverages. Anytime you play in the first game as a new defensive coordinator, it's tough to get a beat on what they're trying to do, in the back end. They did a really good job of basically playing about 5 different coverages and mixing them up. There really wasn't a rhyme or reason for it. I mean, obviously we're charting them every time, we come out. So they did a good job of doing that. And then, they tried to muddy the front up with some stunts and some movement up front. But I thought our offensive line blocked well up front, created a lot of holes to open up for our guys to run. That defense last year was one of the top rush defenses in the country, top 20 rush defense. And we, I don't know how many yards we had tonight, close to 200 yards maybe rushing. So I was proud of that. We just got to do a better job in the throw game to get the ball down the field, these guys, and allowing them to run. I thought we had a couple of opportunities with that. Probably need to come up with a couple of catches, maybe ball placement on a couple, but that's obviously a place where you got to get better.
Did you plan on running all the running backs, and do you think you might settle on one?
Yeah, I mean, I will go back and watch the film. I don't know. Yeah, we came into the game, with the plan to play them all and to see how it shakes out. We'll go back and watch that and see who gives us the best chance to win. I mean, we've got confidence in a lot of those guys in that running back room.
In the front.
What did you see from Nebraska's secondary? Was that really what you thought challenged you the most, or was it the pass rush from a guy like Maneri?
Yeah, I mean, I think probably more so the secondary with some of the tight coverage they had. I mean, I think that's probably their most experienced part of their defense. Number 1, this is returning starter. Number 8, number 7, they were all returning starters. And I felt, those guys were pretty solid. Now, a couple of the new guys that were back there, we felt like we make some plays on some of those guys. We didn't really get much to it, but we, number 10, number 37, I think was a slot guy. So, but I thought our guys up front blocked well. You mentioned the pass rush. I thought our offensive line played a really good game. We'll have to see, go back and watch it. They blocked well in the run game. I thought we were very physical up front, and they kept Sorsby clean, for this game.
81 yards of total offense in the first half. come out with the big second half. What were those adjustments like there with the second half? Was it kind of had to skip Brendan going with his legs a little bit?
Yeah, I think tempo, trying to go. I mean, obviously, it's hard to get any rhythm in the first half. I think our last 3 possessions, we were 3 and out, or 4, I think we only got a first down one time, but we were 3 and out 3 possessions. The first drive, I think we had 9 plays and then 6 plays, and then it just couldn't get any rhythm after that. So we just said, listen, we got to go tempo. Sorsby felt comfortable out there tonight. He was, been running and throwing. So we felt we needed to do more of that. And I thought it was much better in the second half when we came back out. Plus, you get a little bit more feel about what they're trying to do defensively in the second half. Again, new coordinator. I mean, first game, it's hard to understand what they're trying to do until you get into some plays to figure out what we need to make our adjustments in the rest of the game.
Was this a big ask for the new receivers? This is a tough game for anyone.
Yeah.
To hear that.
Yeah, I mean, we had great confidence coming in the game. I think our receivers had a really great fall camp until the first time. You don't know until the first time you play a game. And this is a tough environment, maybe one of the toughest we'll play the rest of the year. We got to get better in these environments. We got to get better when it's loud like that, how we operate our offense. But I do think I still have a lot of confidence in those receivers that they can make plays. We'll go back and watch this and see how we can put them in better positions to make plays, and as coaches, and I think that's what we have to do offensively.
It seemed like some of the line of scrimmage touches got blown up a few times. Is there a part of you that wants to go back and let Brennan just kind of pick them apart like he does on the last drive? Or?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just want to move the football. I don't care how we move it, if we run it or throw it. Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of times where we did run it early in the game. We missed the blocking assignments on it, and then that knocks you off the sticks. And you couple that with some of the false starts, and then now it's these long yardage situations, and that's really kind of unfair to the quarterback. When you put them in a situation where it's long yardage like that. So we got to do a better job of staying on the sticks, obviously. But we need to find ways how we can get in that rhythm. I think once we get in rhythm, like we're hard to stop, and we saw that tonight. Once that thing was rolling, first down. I mean, this is like confidence. When we just go right down the field. Even the last drive. I mean, they didn't really stop us. We were going right down the field. Obviously the interception. I mean, it stopped us. But I felt like if that ball is incomplete, then we were going to go score. I just felt like it. And at the very least, you got an attempt at a field goal. Obviously didn't have any timeouts. But man, that was a great drive. We were backed up on the -10. Moving the ball all the way down the field. What did we get to the 33 maybe? So that was a great move up until the last play. I mean, obviously we got to take care of the football. But we have enough in that locker room to go out and have a special season, and our guys believe, and I think that's the key. Obviously you're disappointed. We want to win this football. We want to win every freaking game we go out and play. I was very disappointed that we didn't win, but I'm proud of our guys. We'll keep fighting.
One more for Coach.
Coach, what do you think of the run defense there? You held Nebraska just 3 yards per carry roughly. How important was it to have Jalen Hunt, Mike Coleman back there for a game like this where it's a physical matchup for the run game for Nebraska?
Yeah, I mean, I thought our defense played outstanding. I mean, a team like that with, Dylan Rollo coming back, who was, arguably one of the better quarterbacks out there. They went out and brought some big-time receivers. Dane Key was, 35 starts at Kentucky. Went out and got some offensive linemen, and the receiver from Cal. To try to bolster that offense. And for our guys to play 40 minutes, and to hold them 350 yards and 20 points, I think that's outstanding defensive football.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.
See from Nebraska's secondary, obviously, bring in the new receivers, be stretching the field. Didn't happen much until the end. What did you see from
They did a good job of, keeping everything in front of them. And then, I think early on in the first half, especially, we didn't do a good enough job of, extending drives. We had too many 3-and-outs. I think we had 2 or 3 3-and-outs in the first half, and that just can't happen. You can't get into any rhythm that way. You're not going to produce anything offensively that way. So, I think in the second half, when we started getting to our tempo and all that stuff, we started to see more success. We got to find a way early on next week to get into that, and, we'll go from there. But we got to get in the film room and correct some stuff for sure.
It's a tough night for the receivers, but on that last drive, some confidence maybe going out. There were some plays maybe you feel better going in.
Yeah, I didn't lose any confidence in the receivers after tonight. I made some bad throws. I made some bad reads. So there's definitely still opportunities there, but we got to figure it out, really quick, especially before we get to conference play. We got to lock in on these next 2 games, these next 2 non-conference games, and then, find our way into the conference play and, be at our best, because at the end of the day, this is obviously a tough loss, and, we wanted to win it, but, It really doesn't have anything to do with us getting to Dallas. So, our goal is still Dallas. Our goal is still, go 1-0 each week. Didn't happen this week, but we can bounce back next week with a win.
Walk us through that final play. It looked like Caleb had about a step and a half there. Was the safety farther off than what anticipated on that play? Or?
They just did a really good job of disguising it. I didn't really see that it was cover 2, especially the way the corner played it. I thought he just kind of jumped it. I thought Golday had a step, kind of just put it up there. Safety made a really good play on it. It's tough, obviously. You like to, wish that he didn't make a one-handed play, but he did, and it was a really good play by him. So, you just got to tip your cap, move on. Obviously a tough opponent in Nebraska, but we got to find a way to pull those close ones out going forward this year.
What are your conversations like with the offensive line? A few false starts on third downs and kind of see guys.
Obviously our first time having to deal with any noise. I think they did a really good job, handling the silent cadence, and obviously they did a really good job of protecting me. Didn't get hit in the backfield at all, so props to those guys. We just got to figure out a way to avoid those pre-snap penalties, especially in some crucial situations, and we will. We'll get it cleaned up. Obviously a really tough environment out there tonight, but, we'll be good going forward.
Didn't get going like you wanted to, but with your feet, you extended a lot of drives and a lot of plays. That's something that you were kind of like, passing to the ball, but I'm going to do something that
Really just, like I said, we had too many 3-and-outs in the first half, and it got down to it. We can't afford to have those really at all throughout the game, but especially now in the second half, when the defense is getting stops, and we got to find a way to extend drives. So whether that's me making a throw or me extending the play with my legs or handing the ball off, whatever, maybe we got to find a way to keep extending drives. And I found a little bit of success running the ball, but we just got to find a way to get the pass game going these next couple of weeks. Continue to use my legs. Obviously, it's tough to defend the pass game and the quarterback running, especially whenever you got an extra hat and the running back blocking for the quarterback. So, we just got to go forward and attack each day with a different mindset of we got to get this offense rolling like we know it can be.
Down 13-3 at halftime. What were those conversations like there coming out in the second half specifically to get you going there in the run game? Was that something you wanted to do, or you saw that the defense was kind of allowing guys to open?
We really didn't even have that conversation. The conversation was more so that, we're shooting ourselves in the foot. We had a couple missed assignments. We had a couple, obviously the turnover down and giving them the ball in the red zone. That's tough, especially on our defense whenever they played a great first half, pretty much, handing them 7 points. So, that's something we're also going to get cleaned up on the offense. It's just, that's an unfortunate play, obviously. He's turning upfield, put a helmet right on the ball. It's tough, but we got to find a way, and I know he's going to beat himself up about that, but we got to find a way to just keep these drives going, especially, when we start getting that tempo going. We're tough to stop, so we got to find a way to avoid those mistakes and avoid shooting ourselves in the foot so we can really start to extend drives and start to put pressure on the other team.
Does the defense's performance today give you more confidence about what you guys can accomplish the rest of the season?
100%. And, obviously we've seen it all fall camp that our defense is really talented. We trust those guys, and, I trust our offense still. We didn't have a great day through the air. We didn't have a great day by any means anywhere. We still made too many mistakes, but it's game one. It's a non-conference game. We care, but it isn't the end-all be-all. It's, we got a lot of ball left ahead of us. We got our full conference play ahead of us. So, we just got to find a way to get better next week, bounce back, and, find a win at home.
Were they doing anything particular on Caldwell or Roy or, guys that got a lot of publicity, but obviously they read that?
They just did a good job all around. I mean, whenever you have 69 yards passing, you're either clearly not doing something right or they're doing something, really well. And I think it was a combination of both. So props to those guys, and, we got to figure it out.
Thanks, Brennan.
Appreciate y'all.
As one of the leaders of the defense, what's your takeaway from that game? Coach Satterfield said it was a good one for you guys.
Yeah, tough game. I think defense had a pretty good game, but ultimately just came down to turnover battle. We didn't win the turnover battle, so there's improvements still to be made.
What do you guys learn from this craziness? I mean, 72,000 people. There's something good to come out of it.
Oh, 100%. Definitely the loudest stadium I've ever played in. Like on the road for sure. Like that was a great atmosphere. You can't really ask for much better than that. It's just an honor to be able to play here in front of all these fans.
With the stadium that loud, did it take a while for you guys to kind of get your feet wet, especially being the first game?
No, I'd say for us, it might be different for the offense, but most of the time when we're out there, since there's mostly Nebraska fans out there, it was a little quieter when they're on offense. And plus, we're not like listening to a signal or anything like that. We're getting a signal on the sideline or something like that. So hearing is a good thing to have, but it wasn't too bad for us.
Jake, big night for you, 12 tackles, couple tackles for loss. What were you seeing there throughout the defensive side that allowed you to have that, and then walk us through that third down sack to set up that 3rd and 19 there?
Yeah, I think it just came down to preparation before the game. Our coaches did a great job of putting together good film cut-ups so that we know exactly what we were going to get. Yeah, and I just was reading my keys and trying to get to the ball as fast as I can. Relentless pursuit, our coach always talks about it, just run to the ball even when you think the ball's about to get tackled. You never know what's going to happen, so that's kind of what my mindset is with that. And then on that last play, I just knew game's on the line, got to make big play. Big players got to make big plays, so that was my motto right there. Saw Dylan Royale step up into the pocket, came off my blocker, and made the play.
Was Emmett Johnson a little better maybe than you thought?
Oh yeah, I mean, great player for sure. We knew he was a great player coming in, but yeah, he had a great game today as well.
You guys got the strip sack early or late in the first half. Monte Whedon kind of goes for the scoop and score, can't pick it up. Is that a teaching moment for a young player like him to just fall on it and get the possession?
Yeah, I think what we always like to teach is like if there's a lot of people around to get on the ball. Definitely, if your first attempt you don't get the ball, then you need to jump on it after that. Definitely a good learning experience for him. Great play by JT to be able to get the ball out. At the end of the day, we got the ball back right there, so it wasn't too crucial.
Any other questions for Jake? Thank you, sir.
Appreciate y'all.